about Noah. I know that Noah built an ark and that he had a wife. He got 2 animals and of each, and his friends didn't know what he was doing. They just laughed at him. That's all.
There was a flood that came and he had to build an ark with the animals. He told the animals a king, but they ran away and Jesus brought them back. And then when they went, the flood came and then dried it all up.
I know that Noah built an ark and loves God and forgives him. Bye.
Good morning, Sunday school friends. Last week I explained we're starting a new series of Bible heroes, and today's Bible hero is all about Noah. So thank you for sending in those videos of what you already know about him. I'm going to share some of those facts that you might already know, but also some new fun facts from our Bible story in Genesis. Now, Noah, we'll start here. Noah was not a perfect man, but wanted to live to honor God. God told him to build a very big boat. Now that's called an ark, that would contain all different kinds of animals. Although this might have seemed like an odd request, Noah was faithful and built it exactly as God told him. When the great flood came, Noah and his family were saved. So maybe that's what you remember most about the Bible story, right? There's Noah and he had to build a great big ark or a great big boat to store all the different kinds of animals in the world. And so we might remember those things and think that was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool job to be in charge of building a big boat and then to have all these different kinds of animals with you to take care of. And that's what we remember most. But maybe there's some parts of the story that we don't know yet. So, for instance, why was there a flood? Why did God send a great big rainstorm to earth to hurt people? Well, back then, when sin entered the world, there was a time long after Adam and Eve when God saw how violent the world had become. People were sinning, which means they were not doing the right thing and they were making very wrong choices. And God saw all of the violent and wrong things the people were doing and said that he would send a great flood. That's where Noah comes in. Remember, I told you that Noah was faithful and he wanted to honor God, meaning he wanted to make the right choices in his mind and in his heart. And he had family that also wanted to honor God as well. So God chose Noah, our hero of the Bible. God chose Noah and told him to build a huge, gigantic boat. Now, the people around him were probably wondering, why is this Noah guy building a huge boat? What is he going to do? Well, God had a plan, and Noah trusted God so much that he built the boat just as God said in order to send all the animals and his family onto the boat in order to stay safe when the rain came. Now, here's the fun part. You probably know that there were animals on the boat. Do you know that there were 2 of every kind? I want to read from the Bible, from our Noah story, and share what God's instructions were to get the animals. This is in Genesis, so if you open your Bible, it's the first book in the Bible, and I'm going to read verses 19 through 22. This is God saying to Noah, "You are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female," meaning boy and girl, "to keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and of every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to you to be kept alive. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them, for the animals." Noah did everything just as God commanded him. He did everything That's even hard for us to do everything our parents tell us to do. But Noah knew that he wanted to be faithful and honor God, and he did that by listening to him and following what God said exactly. So Noah built the ark, and the animals came to him to get onto the ark. So we can think of elephants and giraffes and zebras and probably even dinosaurs. Dinosaurs that would fit onto the ark to be kept alive. From the smallest creature to the biggest one, we can think of what that might have looked like, what sounds were on the ark, and what smells. Ugh, PU. So all of those things in order to be saved. Now, a few fun facts about Noah. We know that it wasn't just him and his wife, but he had 3 sons and 3 daughters-in-law. So his 3 sons and their wives came onto the ark as well. Now that the ark is finished and Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their 3 wives are safely on the ark, the doors are closed up and the rain begins. Remember, this is kind of a sad story. After all, God wanted to completely wipe off the people from the earth and the animals and start over. Except for Noah and his family and the people on the ark, the rain covered the entire world. It covered the hills, it covered the mountains. It got so high, and Noah and his family and the animals were the only ones to survive. So although we remember him as a Bible hero, we know that it's kind of a sad story and one where God shows his true power. But we also know how faithful God is to his people. And Noah and his family had that love and had that respect for God and wanted to honor him and were listening to him and are saved through the ark being there and what God's promise was. Now, a few fun facts about our story. Did you know that Noah was 600 years old when this happened? He was 600 when the floodwaters came on the earth. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine being 100 years old, and Noah was 600. Super old to be building an ark and having all these animals to take care of, but he did it. I also know from the Bible that in order for the rain to come down, for the floodwaters to come down, God sent a wind, and the wind helped the waters recede or go down. And then the final thing is Noah knew that the floodwaters were going down and that land was appearing finally after the waters went down when a bird came and brought him an olive branch. And that olive branch signaled that there was land and that there was finally some peace to the earth. Now, those are some fun facts about our story, and you can read more in Genesis chapter 6, 7, and 8, and 9 even. But the last thing that we truly remember is the promise that God gave Noah and his family, and the promise that God gives us. God sent a rainbow in the sky that last time when Noah and his family came out of the ark. And that rainbow was God's promise that there would not be another flood to cover the entire world again. When we look at a rainbow in the sky, we are reminded of God's promise to Noah and God's promise to us that he will keep us safe. No matter what happens in the world, we know that we can be true to God. We can show God honor through our actions and through our choices. And that is why we continue to think about Noah and how he was a hero of the Bible. Now that we talked about Noah, next week our Bible hero is going to be Job. So if you have any idea or any thought to who Job was in the Bible, make sure you get a video of you explaining that and have your parents send that to the Holy Trinity Church email to Erica so she has that, and then I'll explain more about who Job was in the Bible. See you next week.